Hey guys, what's up? Today I'm going to show you how to do a squat from head to toe. Yeah, that's right, from head to toe, because the squatting exercise is a whole body exercise, and if you're not doing it with your whole body, you're not doing it right. So today I'm going to show you a bunch of tips to help you squat perfectly. Alright guys, the first thing we're going to talk about is hand placement and bar placement on the back. Alright, you need to have your hands in the same place on the bar. Because if you have your hands further on one side than the other, you're going to have an imbalance. So that's one of the first things you need to take a look at. A standard Olympic bar has grooves cut into it so you can see where your hand placement is. You're going to use those just like you would as a bench press. Okay? So I don't care if your index finger, your pinky finger, whatever finger you do use, okay? Make sure that your other one is the same. That's the first step. Alright, now I've put a line here on the bar, a piece of tape, so you can see the center of the bar. Because the center of the bar needs to be on the center of my back, directly on my spine. Okay, so when I do this, I'm going to grab the bar evenly, okay, and I'm going to get under, and that black line needs to be right in my spine. Okay, if it's not, if it's over here or it's over here, it's wrong. So it needs to be directly on your spine. Okay, so here. That's where the bar should be. Okay guys, we've talked about hand placement and bar placement. Now we're going to talk about where your eyes need to be, because this is very important. Okay? Once I've got my hand placement, okay, I'm going to put that line on the center of my back, and I'm going to get under the bar. Okay? Once I'm under the bar, I need to pick a point that I'm going to look at. Okay? So I'm not going to look neutral, I'm not going to look down, okay? Because if I look down and I'm lifting heavy weight, the body has the tendency to want to do this when you look down, okay? So the body is going to follow where the head is. So what you want to do is you want to look up, and your head should be up at all times, okay? Your traps will be pinching the bar when you do that, all right? You're going to pick a point on the wall in front of you, and you're going to look at it. So you want to go about 30 degrees above neutral. Okay, and you're going to do that throughout the whole movement. So even after I unrack the bar and I start to go down, my eyes are always focused on that point. I'm not taking my eyes off that point. Okay, that's going to help you keep your body up and your chest out. Okay, that's another thing. When you're lifting, your chest needs to be out. Okay, I don't want any of this, the body coming down like this while you're lifting, because if you do that, you're going to cave and you're going to dump the bar in front of you, especially when lifting heavy loads. So make sure your chest is up and puffed out, okay? And I'm going to show you how to keep that position. Alright guys, so again, we're back at hand placement. Bar in the center of the back, looking up about 30 degrees above neutral. Okay, once you get there, and you're under the bar, okay, and you're looking up, you're going to drop your elbows down, and I want you pulling the bar onto your back. You're not just resting the bar on your back, you are pulling this bar tight and trying to squeeze your scapula together, okay? This is going to make everything compact, and this is going to help bring the chest up even more. So you're going to have a good contraction in all your back. The bar is nice and tight on my traps, okay? And that's how you're going to start the lift. Okay guys, a lot of times what I see in the gym is people bending their knees first. This is not what you want to do. What you want to do is break at the hips first, okay? The reason being is, when I bend my knees first, okay, or break at the knees, my knees begin to pass my line of my toes as I go down. I don't want that. My shin should be rather straight, or not passing the line of the toes. Okay, so what you want to do is, you're going to imagine you're going to sit back into a seat. So the hips break first, okay, and you're going to bring your butt back, okay, making sure that the lower back doesn't have curve to it. It's going to curve inwards rather than outwards, okay? So when you're here, this is what it should look like, okay? There should be none of this, no heels up, no knees breaking first, okay? Always the hips kick back first, then the knees go, and you come down to the squat position. And back up. Okay guys, I'm going to demonstrate something with a band first before we apply it to the squat. And what I mean is, what you're going to do is, you're going to slide these mini bands over your knees, okay? You're going to place it just below the knee here, okay? And why I'm doing this is because when you're doing a squat, I don't know if you've noticed, a lot of times when people have a heavy load on, their knees will begin to cave in. And the reason being is because they're not firing the glutes as much as they should be, and they're becoming more quad dominant in the lift. Okay? So what you want to do is, as you're lowering and coming up from the squat, you're always focusing on pushing the knees out laterally. Okay? So I'm going to use the band here to demonstrate. As I lower my body, I'm going to push this band out laterally rather than letting it bring my knees in. Okay, so that way you can get a good feel of the activation in the glutes that goes on when doing a squat properly. Okay, so when you're going down, remember, you're pushing out laterally with the knees, and you're driving pressure laterally into your shoes with your heels in the middle of your foot, okay? You should not be on your toes, okay? The power is coming from the heels. Okay, so lateral drive in the shoes and lateral pushing of the knees outwards as you come up from the lift. Okay? Remember that, guys. It's going to make a big difference in your lift. Alright guys, now that you have these tips, you're going to apply the same thing when you unrack the weight. I see a lot of people unracking the weight single leg. Okay, they'll get under the bar like this with their feet separated, and then they go to lift the bar off like this. Okay? That's okay if you're lifting very minimal loads, but when you got a heavy load on, tell me how you're going to single leg squat 400 pounds. It's going to be a little difficult. So make sure when you get under the bar, okay, you get your hand position right, everything gets right, you're here, okay, feet where they should be, the same thing, lateral pushing of the knees, looking up, then you unrack the weight, then you can take a few little steps back with the weight, okay? Once you get that, you keep everything straight, tight, locked, looking up, okay? And then you go down, hips breaking first, then the knees, okay? And then back up, okay? Lateral pressure in the shoes, lateral pushing of the knees throughout the entire movement. And there you guys have it, how to get your squat right.